Hey, what's up everybody? Jesse here, JRMTB. So today we're gonna do a bike check. I've basically have finished all of my upgrades on my bike for the most part, maybe rims and wheels and stuff down the road, but for now I have basically finished everything that I wanted to do with the bike, and I'll talk about, am I happy with the bike now that I've upgraded it? Is there anything I would have done differently if I had to redo it all? And that's what this episode's going to be about. So hopefully you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and leave me a comment. You know, what is your next upgrade, and would you redo everything if you had the chance? All right guys, so I've picked the hottest and sunniest day to do this video, so I apologize if it doesn't really look that great. I'm also filming this on my Hero 9, but so I'll give you a rundown of everything that I've basically done on the bike. The first upgrade that I really did was I replaced the bars in the stem. So I have a NS Bikes stem. I believe it's 35 mils, so it's pretty short. So I also have a Pro bar. Basically picked up at a local bike shop, but I actually really enjoy it. I think it's a 40 millimeter rise. It's a pretty high rise bar, but I've always ridden high rise bars in the past, and it's just something that I'm really comfortable with. So it's basically why I chose that one. I have replaced the saddle with a STG Components Bel Air 3 saddle. I think it's Bel Air 3. That was also one of the first things I had upgraded on this bike. I replaced the grips with Deity grips. They're really nice. I like how thick they are. It just feels like I'm actually grabbing onto something. I upgraded the forks to a Marzocchi Bomber Z1, so it's coil, it's not air, and I'm running them at 160 millimeters. So following that with the rear shock upgrade, I actually upgraded this to the RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate. It has the backup or piggyback, whatever you want to call it, canister. Still same travel, same eye-to-eye length. I did have to do some, rigging to get this to fit the bike, so I had to actually file down part of the canister so it wasn't hitting the frame. So I found that when I was compressing and the shock was hitting the frame, it was actually losing air. So now there's probably about 2 millimeters of clearance, but I've ridden this at the bike park, I've hit drops, everything, and it's still holding air. It's not hitting the frame, so whatever I did worked. I've replaced the pedals for Crank Brothers Stamps. They're actually, I think, Stamp 7s, but they're really nice pedals. I needed grip and I needed something that's wide, and these pedals really do the trick. The only other thing I've upgraded now are my brakes. So I went with the Magura's MT Trails. I really wanted Magura's MT7s, but the problem with this frame is that it's not going to fit Magura's 4-piston brakes on the back. Barely fit the 1-piston for Magura's. So a little bit disappointed, and I'll show you what I had to do to make it fit, but it's working now, and that's basically the most important thing. But I really need strong brakes. I really needed good stopping power. I'm a heavier dude, and I actually ended up snapping my last caliper at the bike park, so definitely need something that's going to be able to have some really good strength behind it. So just showing you guys what happened here. So anyways, I had to file down part of the piston there, the outer piston part, just for it to actually fit, but it does. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't test ridden it yet, but I think it's gonna work out. All right, so after the brake upgrades, really the only other thing I've done is I've replaced the tires and I've gone tubeless. The tubeless setup was really easy. I ended up using the Muck Off tubeless kit, which is really simple. So if you're considering going tubeless, I would say just get the kit. It only took me like, I don't know, like 10 minutes. So really easy to go tubeless. And I've tried a few different tire combinations. Right now I've settled on the Specialized Eliminators. They're really, really grippy. They're really wide, and I'm actually super happy with them. So that's basically all the bike upgrades I've done on the Scott Spark. You know, I've tried to convert it from like a cross-country bike over to a real trail bike. You know, they advertise it as a trail bike, but I think it's more of them just trying to hide the fact that it's a cross-country bike. And that kind of ties into a lot of the limitations with upgrades. Like the rear shock as an example, because it's a Trunion setup and it's upside down, you really don't have space to have the backup canister, so it's really limiting you to you know, just have a basic shock setup, which isn't bad, it's fine. But if you're someone like me who's heavier and you also want that support when you're, you know, hitting drops or jumps or whatever it is, the piggyback is actually really important. And then with the brake setup, because it has an inside mount, you know, it limits you if you wanted to go with upgrades like Magura's, and instead you're going to have to be forced to probably go with like Shimano's or, you know, maybe some other setup. But it's unfortunate that the Scott Sparks are designed this way. Any of the other Scott bikes that aren't the Spark lineup don't have that inside mount, I believe. So I don't know why they did it, and there's probably a reason for it, but pretty disappointed with that. So if I could go back in time and just redo everything and get a different bike, I would probably stick with the Scott brand. I would probably go with their Enduro bike, only because it does offer some of those better options for upgrades. And this is a size medium, and the size medium is actually slightly small. So maybe I'd go with a size large, only because sometimes I find myself over the bars when I'm like riding downhill, and I'd rather have the bike in front of me. So I do think I need a bigger frame, but at the same time I really enjoy having a smaller frame so that I could ride street and kind of just have fun with it. But anyways guys, that is my Scott Spark. I probably spent way too much money upgrading it, but at the same time, you know, it's really fun to upgrade your bike. And at this moment, I'm actually super stoked on all the upgrades that I've done. So if you like the bike, you know, please let me know. If you have any upgrades coming up, feel free to share those in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you guys out on the trails, and hopefully you'll see some more videos of me riding. All right, peace out.